All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Complexity Casting with me, your casting host, Beef, bringing you Game 2 in this best of 3 series. We had a little bit of a delay between the two games. Once again, Ravis Internet DC, then the HoN Tour lobby expired, and it was a whole ordeal, but we are back. Got game number 2 in this series. TteS eSports against all odds, up 1-0 over the #1 team in HoN, Trademark eSports. And so how about that in the last game? I mean, TteS, they drafted well, they played well. Getting the combination of heroes that they had certainly accounted for some of their success. Tempest, Keeper of the Forest, Forsaken Archer, Magnus, and Aluna. I mean, yeah, that's pretty damned good. So we'll see if they can do it once again. Last time we had 6 junglers in the lock pool. Not so much this time, so let's get on into it. Blind bans were, in fact, Parasite, Ophelia, Wild Soul, and Keeper of the Forest. I got in right after the blind bans went out, so unfortunately I can't tell you who did them. I would speculate that TteS on the Hellborn side banned out Parasite and Keeper of the Forest, excuse me. And, well, on the other side, that would leave Ophelia and Wild Soul to be banned by tdM, but I guess those could be interchangeable. That's what my speculations are, so we'll see. Lock-picking stage, we had first lock up, Tempest, going to be joining, Plague Rider, Meraxis, grab a Bubbles, throw him in, make some turtle soup, Wretched Hag's going to be stirring it on up, an Engineer throws in a keg, just for good measure, in that flambéed touch at the end right there. So grab the support hero. You got Initiator and Meraxis. You got a jungler. You got a solo side lane carry, Suicide Bubbles, and a Suicide Plague Rider. So you got like everything you could possibly imagine in that lock pool. No rhyme or reason to a lot of those locks. Certainly not 6 junglers like last time. But interesting. So let's take a look at the bans real quick. Warbeast, Demented Shaman, Legionnaire Pebbles, Tremble, and Silhouette. Tremble being banned by Trademark once again. They do not want to be giving Enzo that big bug. And then, of course, Warbeast being banned out. In addition to Demented Shaman, 2 strong pushers, and then a couple of great gankers with Legionnaire and Pebbles also being banned. And Silhouette, the hard carry, once again being banned. But speaking of hard carries, I hear some already. Let's get into the picking stage. First up, it was, in fact, Fade for the Trademark team, making it through bans and blind bans and standard bans. She will be joining the Trademark lineup. On the other side, TteS says, well, you got the Fade. What are we going to do about that? Well, they're going to go with Aluna and Draconis. That's what they're going to respond with, and we'll see what they go with for their third pick here. Maybe they'll go with a Pestilence. Maybe to grab the the Vision of Fade. I don't know. We'll know in just a second here. Judging by what's available in the lock pool, there's a lot of options, and there it is. So interesting. They do go with Andromeda for their third pick, number 6 overall. Could be going the double support route possibly, although Aluna could play a semi-carry ganker role. I think it's more than likely going to be a double support route, and they're going to go without a jungler, as the only jungler was just picked up by tdM. They picked number 4 and 5, Moon Queen Glacius, going with the carry support right there. Glacius and Fade, of course, team up very, very well together in that middle lane. But the Tempest also going to be in the jungle, so we'll see what they, in fact, roll for their 5th here. Most likely going to be a Suicide, and then Glacius could go with Moon Queen or Fade. But the only jungler in the game was just taken, and now TteS, what are they going to do about it? They've got 2 supports. They've got the dragon. They go with 2 more carries. So it most likely is going to be a tri-lane, probably an offensive tri-lane with dragon in the bottom lane. And then they're going to have a lot of roaming coming out. So it could also be something different than that. Maybe putting dragon in the short lane, offensive tri-lane, the Wretched Hag, and then have some roaming. But either way, you're going to see a ton of roaming coming out of White and Leon Black on Aluna and Andromeda. tdM finishes off their team with Zai on the Plague Rider. So going to be playing that Suicide role, and that's something that's going to suit him just fine indeed. tdM's lineup is so strong, like preposterously strong. I think that they did definitely get the stronger lineup. Their late game potential is there with Moon Queen. They've got the team fight potential between Fade and Tempest. They've got the ganking potential between Glacius and Fade, but I mean, we'll see what they choose to do with their lineup here, whether they're going to be focusing on one thing more than the other. But overall, I mean, I think they've certainly got the complete package. All right, so Luna and Bubbles making their way to the bottom, along with Draconis and Andromeda. So far, Wretched Hag lagging behind, but making her way down there. Indeed, it's going to be 5 here for the Hellborn team. Wing Courier just flying around, trying to find anybody out of position. Glacius already with a very defensive ward of sight, but I like this ward a lot. tdM has predicted that the offensive tri-lane with lots of roaming will be coming out, and that's what this ward of sight deals with. Anytime that a Luna and Andromeda come in this location to cut up over here, or they come in this location to cut down here, to go over here and then cut up, and then go to the middle lane, well, anytime that happens, this ward of sight is going to cover both of those. The only other way that they're going to be able to get over to that mid lane is down the river right here. And if they go down that river, then another ward up in this location, this location, this location, or this location will cover this exit. And then, well, what are they going to do? They're not going to be able to very successfully roam. They're not going to be able to set up the ganks that they would like to. Andromeda already doing a little bit of annoyance here. Going to be blocking this camp from the high ground. So that's actually a very, very good thing. He's getting as close as he possibly can. But once this camp right here is blocked out, Tempest is going to have a little bit rougher of a time. He typically would want to be able to double stack that one very, very soon. But with no spawn actually spawning there, gonna have to do a little bit something different. Instead, going to have to stack this one most likely. But if he turns, there you go. He turns them in right there, and so now he's gonna have to make his way over to these Vulture Lords, and it's gonna throw his farm off actually a little bit here. Emerald Lightning gonna come in right there, and Fade's gonna take a lot of pressure in this bottom lane from this tri-lane. In fact, they will have the Wretched Hag in middle lane and Bubbles short. I think I might have switched those in my predictions, but Zai, with that Plague Rider, should actually have a very good time against Bubbles. With no jungle to support Bubbles, Zai should actually do extremely well in this lane. And I think what Riser was actually complaining about here was the fact that they double denied top lane. That's why you can see this already pushing up so aggressively. Bubbles actually taking a lot of damage here from Plague Rider. The double deny is going to very, very effectively push this lane and get Plague Rider some fantastic laning position and already start him out well. So Plague Rider should win this lane top. Middle lane, Moon Queen and Glacius should win against Wretched Hag, especially if they're going to have proper warding position like they do with the Aluna. And Aluna, she's actually doing some roaming. She's now off the grid, as it were. The Ward of Sight spotted her coming over here, but she will now be able to pick up a tablet of invisibility. Gonna wait and give that to Andromeda, actually. And so they're going to be able to spot Andromeda with this Ward of Sight. And so immediately you're going to see Moon Queen fall back. There she is. And with the Invis rune now picked up by Andro, and Aluna actually out of position, or excuse me, in position right behind him. Moon Queen or Glacius is now in a lot of potential trouble. And if either one of them pushes up right here, yeah, Moon Queen's actually going to die right now. Comet Stun comes out. There's the Emerald Lightning. Auto attacks, and down goes Nuke. Very, very well played right there by the TteS team, scoring the first blood on the opposing team carry. They don't necessarily know about this Ward of Sight. They might presume that it's there, but their support, excuse me, did a great job of circumnavigating that ward, and they got very lucky with that invis as well. But sometimes luck comes into it. Roamers once again walk by, and as soon as that happens, Fade's going to have to play pretty far back down here. Level 4, so out-leveling his opponent in that lane, the Suicide Dragon. But in terms of farm, Fade 3-0 as opposed to a 19-10 Draconis. TteS, I said that tdM had a very strong lineup, and they do. The issue here is that Fade is actually going to not get pretty much any farm. She's going to get levels, and once she gets levels, she'll be able to pick off these underfarmed supports. And they might actually converge right here. Glacius, Moon Queen, and Fade converging on 2 of these players could easily get the kill. The Emerald Lightning comes in. Sonar Scream. Glacius going to take the second blood right there. Moon Queen taking some pressure as well. Burning Shadows goes out. Catches Andromeda. Andromeda's in some serious trouble. She goes down to the Cull and the Moonbeam. And in the top lane, Riser takes a fall to Plague Rider. So, Plague Rider and Minuts, actually. So, great job from Minuts actually rotating. I didn't even catch that he has, in fact, rotated into the opposing team's jungle. From there, he's going to be able to set up kills on a Riser like you just saw. And he's also not going to have to deal with the warding situation here that is blocking out 2 of his camps. There's more action. Aluna going to be taking a fall right here. Wretched Hag wants to finish off Glacius, but a nice job of using those trees to cover his escape, and Glacius will be able to get out of there. Plague Rider picks up a Helm of the Victim first. So things that builds into, take a real quick survey. You got Whispering Helm, you've got Shaman's Headdress, you've got the Sanitarius. So I think it's pretty safe to say that it should be a component for a Shaman's Headdress here pretty soon, as support's making their way over once again. There's the Haunt. Moon Queen perhaps in some trouble. Going to seek refuge. Where's the Aurora? Aurora goes in. Lots of damage being taken. Moon Queen's going to be falling. Wretched Hag in some trouble though as well. Takes some more auto attacks. Will be able to escape for now, as Tempest with the double damage is looking for Riser. Riser going to have to use that Shell Surf here very soon. Taking a lot of damage from that 125 damage per shot Tempest. But now Tempest, the hunter, becomes the hunted perhaps. Andromeda and Aluna looking for Tempest. Won't be able to bring him down necessarily on his own, but as Riser does spot him out now, if he can get Tempest to actually commit to a kill right here, commit to trying to kill Bubbles, then the 2 supports will easily be able to come in and snipe him. But great job from Minuts using his elemental minions to scout. Going to be able to keep him safe for now. Bottom lane, the really big thing here for TteS is this bottom lane. They bought the early level 1 farm here, as Tempest does get caught out. The Emerald Lightning and the Aurora connecting. There's the Comet. Power Throw goes in, 2 more auto attacks, and down goes Minuts. But the support now in some serious trouble. Moonbeams are there, and well, there's the Plague Rider ultimate. Aluna goes down, and Andromeda trying to keep herself alive as well. She's already bought out. Hasn't bought out. I thought that I saw some items coming up there, but I think it might have been Aluna perhaps, as Ravis comes into the bottom lane on Wretched Hag and is able to score a kill on the level 5 Fade. Nice job there. So Enzo actually doing some roaming there. Sorry, screwed up those names. But Draconis, 376 gold per minute, farming extremely well in this bottom lane. TteS down by about 100 gold right now, about 1,000 experience, but I think they're willing to make that sacrifice at this point to buy early farm on that dragon and to at least get decent farm on Hag. But here's the problem. Aluna and Andromeda have done a great job roaming, as the Moonbeam does come out onto Wretched Hag there. They've done a great job roaming, but they're going to be under-leveled as a result. Once Fade and Tempest start to really get big here, the Fade will be able to clean up these heroes. A level 6 Fade versus a level 4 Andromeda, or a level 4 Aluna. Fade's going to win that fight every time. But we'll see. I mean, if they're able to get denies like that, if they're able to keep on ganking effectively like they have, and if they're able to get some decent levels on Riser, which they have, level 6 on him right now, forming 146 gold per minute, so nothing phenomenal, then they might have a really good shot at taking this game. Draconis is going to need the jungle, though, and that's one other great thing about this lineup, is there's no jungling hero for this Draconis to contend with in the jungle. Theoretically, by the time that Draconis has his Nullstone at, say, 20 minutes in, 18, 20 minutes in, every single one of these camps should be double stacked. And Draconis will just be able to clean them up and just skyrocket to 450, 500 gold per minute, and then be able to start taking some huge fights. So we'll see if the TteS team is able to execute their plan properly. If they are, then they have a good shot. They need to keep this Fade down. They need to make sure not to give up kills against the Fade. And they need to be able to continue getting kills like this Tempest right here. Elemental Void going to be able to catch nobody. Very, very well played by the TteS team right there. Bubbles and Hag just completely spreading out. You saw where the Elemental Void was, and then Bubbles was up here. Hag was right here, just completely dodging it. The Shell Surf actually finishing off the Shell Surf finishing off Tempest. It's another big kill for the TteS team. Currently up only 1 hero kill and down a little bit in experience and gold. But we'll see how they continue to play this game. A big threat for the TteS team is Zai on this Plague Rider. Currently farming top on his team at 312 gold per minute. Plague Rider against somebody like Bubbles just absolutely crushes the lane. Just absolutely crushes it. As you can see, I mean, Plague Rider is close to double his opponent's gold per minute. And he has a hefty experience advantage as well. Going to be about, what is that, 2 levels? Yeah, 2 level advantage over Bubbles in the short lane. I don't know. I don't know about that decision to actually leave him up there. I almost feel like they should have rotated Draconis up there after, say, about 5 minutes into the game. After Draconis was able to finish up Steam Boots and pick up a Life Tube. As soon as that happened, they should have rotated Draconis into that lane, because Draconis can actually contend at that point against this Plague Rider, and then be able to send the Bubbles down into the bottom lane, where he should be able to contend decently against the Fade and stay safe against any potential ganks that might have been coming in. But that's not what happened, and now Draconis starting to do a little bit of stacking for himself, just trying to kill some of these creep camps. Fade used the reflection, was trying to perhaps score a kill onto Bubbles, but Riser was a little bit too close to his friends. And Riser didn't get opened on, not just yet. Minets on Tempest goes for Striders and a mana battery as well as a bottle before actually picking up mana ring. Is in top lane. Plague Rider's in some trouble. There's the comment. So Kelpfield's there, and damn, Leon gets the power throw from off screen for the kill. Leon Black actually at 170 gold per minute, 3-2-2, and has a pretty healthy core right now with boots, power supply, and another 500 gold saved up. He's looking pretty damn good. Moon Queen is rotated into the bottom lane to try to catch up on her farm, while Fade went off to do his roaming thing. Noob G so far just about to break that 300 gold per minute mark, and after the recent kill on Zai, he has dropped under 300 gold per minute, so TteS doing what they need to and keeping the correct players down, and now they're going to be looking for a kill onto Fade, perhaps. Well, there's the haunt being applied. Reflection is there, though, and Power Throw not going to be connecting just yet. Courier had to use the shield to actually get out of there, as Fade just delivered that Grave Locket, I'm pretty sure. Fade drops the reflection. If that Sonar Scream had hit right there, Hag probably could have gotten the kill. Bat Blast is actually 250, never mind. So it would not have been able to get the kill. That's a little bit unfortunate. I think that maybe she should have been able to, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. So this is another one of those problems with Moon Queen on the same team as Tempest. You can see right now there's a lot of creeps over here. The Tempest is going to clean them all up. The farm that Moon Queen should be able to get in the jungle is being negated by the farm that Tempest is actually taking. As there's a Ward of Revelation down here that Leon just put, knowing that a lane ward is most likely there protecting the farm of his carry, knowing that if somebody comes into the lane via any of these angles, that lane ward will protect him. So going to be able to get the counter ward onto that as soon as he has a little bit of backup. And then they might be able to make their way to a little bit of adventure into their opponent's jungle. Continued stacking and farming here as Draconis is just ascending in terms of gold per minute. 433 now at 12 minutes in. He's about 1,500 gold away from finishing up his Nullstone, shooting for about a 17-minute Nullstone, which would be just fine indeed. And Draconis versus a Moon Queen, with a Moon Queen just hovering at 300. Draconis will win that fight just about every time. So let's take a look here. Fade finishes up Striders in addition to a power supply. has the items that he really needs to start roaming pretty effectively here. If he's able to ever pick off Luna and Andromeda by themselves, that's going to go a long way towards shutting down the map control portion that TteS is relying on right now. As Minot's actually just picked up an Energizer, and Bubbles is going to have to get out of there. Riser using his Shell Surf to actually try to get a couple of creep kills, and will back up pretty far. Fade looking for a kill as well. But I believe this ward of sight right here, another great lane ward by these players, was able to spot Fade as she activated the ultimate. So a fantastic job. If they're able to deny kills to this Fade, I think TteS has a very good shot at actually taking this game and closing out this series. The Moon Queen's just not able to actually retain the farm that she's looking for right now. Still sitting at sub 200, while Draconis is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now has his Blessed Orb and just 800 gold away after this creep camp from finishing up that Nullstone, while everybody else on the team is starting to recover as well. Bubbles up to 200, and Hack going to be pushing 300 pretty soon here. Picking up the scraps in lane where Draconis is not quite getting to them fast enough. Enzo currently at 2-0-3 has finished up his Steam Boots and his Grave Locket, so going to be hitting level 9 relatively soon as well. And that's, of course, going to be an extremely good level for him. With the Bat Blast, he'll be able to start leveling up that Blink as well and starting to get more and more mobile. Dragon is here, and they're going to be able to go into Plague Rider right now. No ultimate coming out. There's the Song of the Sea. Ultimate still not being dropped by Plague. There it is. Not really going to do too much bouncing. Fade is there. Not going to have enough damage to actually burst down Draconis, though. Might be able to look at Bubbles, but no, not going to be able to. Trying to buy time for Glacius to get there. If Glacius can get there with the Thunder Blast, they might be able to burn the Dragon, but Reflection ends in 3 seconds, and tdM takes another death right there and not able to respond. So very, very well done. Zai dropping for the second time in a row, knocking him back down to 262 gold per minute. A great gank setup there between Riser and Moravis. Counter warding going on here as that ward of sight's been up for a few minutes, preventing some double stacking Ancients from stacking further. But the supports, White and Leon Black, getting the job done. Bring out the counter ward, bring out the courier, and they will be able to make sure that that stacks once again. Because on the other side, Moon Queen, using her Whispering Helm that she's had, is going to be able to kill these triple stack here pretty soon. The Vagabond Leader might die, though. That would actually... Oh my god. Vagabond Leader down at 2 HP. And will be able to survive. Gets back to town. If he had lost that Vagabond Leader, that actually would have been really bad. As Fade comes in with the call to try to clean him up, and Moon Queen able to hit 320 gold per minute as a result of cleaning up that triple stack. But Draconis grabs his Nullstone off the bird 16 minutes in. It's looking like Moravis is in a pretty good position right now. TteS down 500 experience, up 500 gold. Being even at this point in the game is something they should be pretty comfortable with. Not falling behind to a jungler early game. I think that they might be in a pretty good spot right now. Fade in the top lane, trying to hold off this push, because once the push starts happening here from TteS, there you go, portal key on Bubbles. They're going to be able to lock down this Fade pretty damn easily if they can get the Shell Surf, Song of the Sea, Kelp Field off. Actually, all 5 players are here, so there's going to be a whole lot more than just that going on, as they're going to definitely be looking to push. We'll see how tdM responds. I don't think they have the team to stop this push. Instead, going to be trying to trade, as the Elementals already working on the tower in the bottom lane. But will they be able to take this and start working on 2 in time? Oh, they're going to actually try to get the deny. There's the Song of the Sea. No Kelp Field available. Shell Surf comes in. They're going to catch Tempest. There's the Kelp Field. Bat Blast comes in. Not going to be able to finish him off. No, he is. And, well, there's the ultimate from Plague Rider. Bubbles takes a lot of damage. Andromeda might drop, but no, not going to be able to just yet. They're able to get the tower, but end up giving their lives for it. 2 kills here for the TteS team. And in the top lane, Aluna might be in perhaps a little bit of trouble. Nope. Going to be just fine, and this tower is now ripe for the taking as soon as the TteS team regenerates. now up in golden experience for the first time thus far in this game. And Draconis picks up a mighty blade, so going to be working on the shrunken head very, very soon here. Fade's still trying to find farm up here in the top lane. Limp has gone up to 220 gold per minute, down from being in a 1v2 lane. It's not too bad, and the Luna might be in a little bit of trouble. Glacius just going around to try to drop this lane ward. It's an interesting ward because this means that tdM wants to push. And I don't know that they have the potential to push right now, so they've got 6 minutes to actually use that. It's also going to be able to get you vision from behind to see when players are coming into lane and maybe perhaps pick somebody off that comes in this position, and then you have a Fade waiting for him right there, and you can get a kill in that location. But not really going to be using that just yet, and the top tower will drop in favor of TteS. If they'd been able to get the deny on this tower, TteS would actually be in a fantastic spot. Like, in a really good spot, being able to deny both towers that had fallen thus far. This ward also will give vision into this camp right here. So if Draconis is starting to work on a triple stack over there and Fade sees it and they can get some players there in time, they might be able to pick off the dragon. Moon Queen doing a nice job catching up so far, rushing that shrunken head. Going to be able to have that actually as TeTS gets caught out right here. There's the kelp field, and TeTS drops the elemental void. Auto attacks coming in from Andromeda, and down goes TeTS. A Riser with a nice take cover and a huge red snipe right there. Gonna take down any creeps that might have been able to. Okay, that wasn't the hugest of red power throws. It was intended to get the kill on TeTS, but it takes out some creeps, gets a Luna some farm, and makes sure that nothing else is going to happen. As Fade opens up with a level 2 reflection, Wretched Hag in some trouble, able to blink away the minion coming in and trying to finish him off, but no, not able to. So there you go. Very nice job once again from Andromeda, White, and Riser on the bubbles. Able to get the kill onto Tempest, and Mindnuts wasting the ultimate once again. Not able to catch both players, and almost took down Bubbles. Almost traded his life for that of Bubbles, which would have been kind of worth it. Worth it more so than just dying, I suppose. But not able to get the kill. Another great spread. White doing a fantastic job with that swamp. And not bad, not bad. Mindnuts has picked up an Energizer. I think I pointed this out earlier. A very interesting pick to me. I don't agree with this at all on Tempest, but Mindnuts, I mean, he's a master strategist. He has his own way of building Tempest, whether that's push stick first or, in this case, going for the Energizer, but I just don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Draconis should be about 700 gold away, going to be 600 gold here in a moment, away from finishing up his shrunken head. And Fade looking for a kill once more. If he opens on this Andromeda here, he could find himself in a little bit of trouble, but he's getting a good scout off. 19 seconds left on the reflection. I doubt that... Oh, he might actually get caught right here. There's a Ward of Revelation down on the ground, and if he walks past that, well, Bubbles might be in some trouble here. Got about 10 seconds left, 5 seconds left. Going to open on Bubbles. There it is. Burning Shadows Cull. And the auto attacks. Bubbles goes down. Is Fade going to be able to get out of here? Drops the Deep Shadows and will try to evacuate. Wretched Hag's going to spot him out. And here comes TP support. What are they going to have to actually be able to run down Fade right now? Reflection down for another 20 seconds, and they have found him. Burning Shadows comes in, and Fade will be able to escape, but a nice Warlock right there. Going to be able to continually help them out. If they can get a swamp stun, Fade will go down. Certainly don't even need it. As Fade goes down, the Aurora not even needed. So Limp leads him on a great chase, but with that kill, Ravis actually finishes off his shrunken head. And so now he's got a Nullstone and a shrunken head, whereas Moon Queen just has that shrunken head and the Whispering Helm. I'd take the Draconis in a fight, I would say. And of course, I would give the farming advantage to Draconis as well. But Moon Queen doing a nice job stealing a double stack right here, managing his opponent's resources very, very well. Even though Draconis is up by about 70 gold per minute as of now, that could change in just one team fight. Enzo picks up a shrunken head of his own, so that's 3 now in the game. And we'll see if TteS starts working on one. He's got 2,300 gold saved up, so he can buy a portal key, and there it is. So it does pick up that portal key. And mid tower now in some pressure here. Minuts might be able to get a big ult off once that portal key gets there. But no, he's going to be found out. There's the Dragon Flame. Activates the Energizer. Will try to retreat. Invis on Fade. Activates the Reflection and might want to get a kill here. Portal key acquired. Will they go in for a big Tempest Elemental Void? Luna has an eye, so Fade needs to be very careful. Going around the side. 19 seconds left on the... clear vision with the reflection. Fade needs to be very careful right here. Needs to be very careful. There's the Aurora. They should be able to spot out Fade. And here comes the last hit on the tower. Does go in favor of the Hellborn team. Hag goes in. There's the Kelp Field. Moon Queen very low. Backblast going to be able to hit two. Tempest goes down already in the back. And now Plague Rider taking a ton of damage. He's going to be going down. Fade gets hit by the power throw right there, and she goes down as well. tdM falling apart. They're already losing the middle tower. Will they take two with the main players down right now? Fade got the Plague Rider and Tempest all down as well. Should easily be able to take two. Moon Queen's 10-second Shrunken Head was used and is not up for another 55 seconds. You might even be able to take two towers right now. And, well, they're going to actually start pressuring down the middle lane. Moon Queen actually could be into some serious trouble. There's the swamp, and Moon Queen is in trouble. We got Fort coming in as Fade will buy back. They're going to try to bring down Wretched Hag. Wretched Hag, though, able to blink out of there, able to get out for now. And Limp goes down. tdM throwing this game. And TteS gets a genocide right there. Minuts comes back up, but not going to be in time to defend this tower, perhaps. They're going to be able to step up onto this platform. Zai is up, level 2 ultimate available, and so TteS needs to be very careful. They need to back up right now, but there's the Elemental Void. Stun comes in, though. Tempest will be able to get out of there. Wretched Hag goes down. Dragon in some trouble, perhaps. No, turns it around, gets the kill onto Tempest, and now Plague Rider might be in trouble, but no, he will be able to get out of there. Wow, TteS up 11,000 gold, 10,000 experience at this point. Dragon level 18, 547 gold per minute, up almost 200 over Moon Queen and tdM. Are they on the verge of losing this best of 3? They have not lost a best of 3 since the HoN Tour qualifiers, where they lost against Stay Green in the winners bracket finals. That's the last time. Will they be able... Will TteS actually dethrone tdM right now? TteS, the team that people have written off since they lost Slicks. I was talking with Riser before this game, and he was talking to Breaky and said, Breaky, you guys aren't casting this game, right? And Breaky said, no, we're going to be casting Complexity. And Riser said to me, good. I don't want to have our game streamed because it's going to be embarrassing how bad we get rocked. And this is where they are. Up 10,000 golden experience at 26 minutes into this game. Up 1-0 in this series. Can they finish it off? Do they have the discipline to not make mistakes from here on out and finish this game? Well, only time is going to tell. Wretched Hag starting to work on a Hellflower, but Fade in the jungle trying to get a stock off, but he has no items. No Hellflower, no Portal Key, no Codex, nothing. Will spawn out Wretched Hag. And Glacius might be able to get over there. It's actually Minuts on Tempest. Might be able to get in position. No. Looks like Fade will fall back. Headdress was finished up a while ago on Zai, and he's now picked up a staff, or push staff, tablet of command. Going to be very nice for him to have. Energizer of TteS' own over here on Andromeda now. Drops the Aurora, wants to remove some of the damage from Kongor, and they're going to have to trade a tower most likely, but no. tdM actually going to be TPing into the bottom lane. They're not aware of this. They're not aware that this is going on, and Andro actually taking the brunt of the damage. Kongor goes down, Dragon picks up the Token of Life, and we'll see. Middle tower at 50%. There's still 2 outer towers available. Would not be surprised to see TteS take the 2 outer towers, and then with, say, 1.5 to 2 minutes left on that token, to actually go for that middle lane, to try to take down the tower, maybe even get racks. But right now, they still continue to outfarm their opponents. Wretched Hag closing in quick on Moon Queen in terms of farm. And when you have a Wretched Hag that's almost outfarming your Moon Queen, and the Draconis is still like way up there, gets the kill on the tower, now at 562 gold per minute. He's looking real damn big. Dragon going to be pressing through and going to be trying to get the second tier tower. Now 12,000 gold lead in favor of TteS, and Trademark knows they cannot take the fight right now. Going to give up the remainder of their towers, at least in this bottom lane, and try to trade out for this top lane. They should by all means be able to do it, but the TP support and the Glyph of Fortification for a save could be available. We'll see. Are they going to use the Glyph? No, not going to be just yet, as the bottom lane does get taken down. TTE is going to make their way into their opponent's jungle, try to resource manage them just a little bit while the push happens in the top lane. But tdM already falling back. Fade immediately activates the reflection. 25 seconds to get something done. Bubbles might very well be that choice with only 910 life. He could go down to a fade, but more than anything, this is about getting vision. The clear vision and setting up for a good fight as a Savage Mace is purchased by Draconis. Just like last time, going to be able to push up this middle lane with the Savage Mace. Do they have the patience and the discipline to make this push work? Well, we'll see right now. No barrier idol for them this time. Deep Shadow is going to be doing a little bit of slowing. Need to get a haunt onto that Tempest and actually prevent something. As the Burning Shadows goes out, Draconis takes a lot of damage from himself. But yeah, they need to get a haunt. If they can get a haunt onto the Tempest, like have Hag blink up there, haunt the Tempest or something, then that's going to deactivate the portal key on Tempest for 15 seconds. That should buy them enough time to actually take down that tower. We'll see though. Geometer's Bane just finished up on Moon Queen. Had to buy out on that item. Not going to have a buyout available as triple stacked Ancients are going down. Ward of Sight covering them, so the TteS team is not in any fear at this point. Looks like they might want to go for this defensive tower instead, as a couple potions being bought out. TteS playing it slow. They don't want to make mistakes. Just like last time, they know they have a huge advantage right now. They know they have the advantage and they don't want to give that up. They want to stay strong and finish off tdM right now. Will they be able to? Draconis going to get back up there. Meteor on the ground. Auto attacks being pounded in. And Draconis taking a lot of spells right there. Glacial Blast, nice deny though. The tower has been exposed, or the racks have been exposed with the tower falling. Potion on to Moravis, and he's going to be able to just regen up with that Millstone over time now. With 3 minutes left on that token, we'll see if they go in for the racks. We saw how cautious they were able to play in that last game. They did not wait, or they did not try to force it. They waited, they waited, they waited until they were able to get a good team fight, until they were able to catch somebody out, until they were able to force buybacks. Speaking of buybacks, the only one who has one available is Limp. He's already used one, so that would be his second buyback if he does choose to go for one. See right now, creep wave cleaned up again. Still no barrier idol. And Mithrax gonna take some pressure. There's the Song of the Sea. The Kelpfield goes down. Shrunken Head being activated. Moon Queen trying to bring everybody down. And in fact, it's going to be Moon Queen taking a lot of pressure. Zai's gonna drop on Plague Rider. And that's the only casualty so far. Wretched Hag took a ton of damage. No buyback on Plague Rider. Not able to get the ultimate off. Burning Shadows opener onto Draconis. And Draconis is going to be going down. Token of Life will be bringing him back up. Shell Surf, Song of the Sea, takes down Glacius. No, the Shell Surf actually back out. And the melee racks now exposed. Tempest ultimate available. Is he going to be going in? No! Down goes Limp. He's going to be able to buy back. He does buy back immediately. No, he already bought back. And tdM, they're going to be going down right here, right now. Vote to concede. That is it. TT Esports takes the series 2-0 over Trademark. Holy hell, what an upset. The #1 team in HoN falling to TT Esports. Everyone had written them off. They were nobodies without Slicks, right? Wrong. They just took down the #1 team, giving Trademark their first loss in 3 months. Their first best-of-3 loss in 3 months. Look out, Trademark. Look out, Complexity. Look out, Stay Green. You got TT Esports now in the top 3 of HoN Tour. Going to be moving on to the winners bracket finals. Already guaranteed themselves top 3 in this cycle. And they're going to be facing off against the winner of Complexity versus Stay Green, the other winners bracket semifinalists for the spot going to the grand finals. Guys, What a series. I hope that you enjoyed that as much as I did. Let's get this scoreboard updated right here for TT Esports, taking down Trademark. Very well played. Congrats to TTEs. So they move on, guys. Trademark going to be dropping into the losers bracket. They're going to have to play against some strong teams down there. One Trick Pony, QSQ, Druids all still in it, and we'll see if they can make their way back into the losers finals to try to get their revenge against TTEs or the grand finals, wherever it might be, guys. I've just lost my mind in this game. TTEs played so standard and so well in this series, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sticking with me here today. I know there were a lot of delays getting into this, but a huge shout out to both of these teams for being mannered. tdM had the option to take the forfeit win and gave TTEs a chance, and TTEs said, oh, okay, well, we're just going to kill you then. And they did. So that is it. Big shout outs to both these teams. Big shout outs to you guys for being here watching. A huge shout out to the admin team. We got Milk Fat, Mr. Old Shadow, Chuck64, Inkland, Roland, and Snoopy for making HoN Tour possible. And of course to S2 Games for also making HoN Tour possible. And Complexity Gaming for allowing me to be here and cast these games for you guys with coLcast. Guys, huge shout out to the Complexity sponsors, Sound Blaster, Origin, QPad, and PNY. Make sure to head over to ComplexityGaming.com where HoN Tour is on the front page. I might just have to write an article about that series, guys, because that was insane. Be on the lookout tomorrow as well. We're going to be releasing a press release with the second team to be invited into the Sound Blaster Heroes League. So check that out. And once again, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Tomorrow, Sound Blaster Heroes League qualifier number 2 coverage starts. So we'll see you right here, twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN. Peace out, guys.